So we're having a build day. Oh, I probably should start a little bit. Let me wait. Okay, yeah. All right, we're having a build day today, and my wife is out here with us. But I'm Devin, Barefoot Props, playing with our GoPro Max 360 camera, just trying to make a video to let people be immersed in what we do and how we carry on and how we act in a build day. And I wanted you to be able to see and things people are working on and how we behave with each other and how we make fun of each other. And so that's what this video is going to be all about. And so we're kind of checking on directional sound too. So we're just going to go to my left and let everybody start introducing themselves, and as they come all the way back around. So
I'm Tony and I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Tony. Welcome to the group, Tony. That's down the hall, Tony.
Martel, Moonwolf Cosplay, glad to be here. And I do drink, but not really alcoholic. Functioning alcoholic.
There you go. This is Elise. I'm Marty.
I can introduce myself. Because you were next. That was better. Oh, okay. I'm Lisa May Cosplay.
So he's in the crapper now. So I'm just saying.
I'm Jason. Too old to cosplay, but I do it anyway.
What?
No, there's no such thing. Ever. There's no.
He was.
Oh, sorry, I can't say that now. Yeah. I might be older than you.
Yeah. Jason was voted most like a superhero chin in high school, so
Yeah.
So I have that to fall
he's
back
got
on.
that going, falling back on him. So
Phil Schinner, Evacure Armor.
And Robert Letts, Letts Props.
And Sam Martin, Barefoot Farm.
there we go. So enjoy, guys. We'll try to get some stuff put together and let you see kind of how we behave today. So thanks so much.
Don't judge us.
No.
Yeah.
These little sections on it. I don't have
So look to my right.
together at the moment, so we can get it work.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a lot of random ass little details in there. Huh.
Well, some of those is to make it interlock, so the outside rings there's
Well,
an
yeah,
interlock.
I
But
can
yeah,
see that, but I'm talking about all the little
it's flaming.
detail pieces.
So the question is why don't you cast that in like clear resin and put lights and stuff underneath? Well, I guess it's not the flaming helmet; it's actually the crown.
No, this
so it
is the crown
it's a
for the
Lumicast.
Hayabusa. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not the
No.
Still,
So
there's no reason you couldn't.
But I want
No.
these. I'm going to send. So I've got the buck for this that I'm sending Justin. Justin's going to pull my visors for me. But I'm also, he's going to get one of the first helmets because I want him to hydrochrome the crown to send.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him
to.
He's got to paint. I want him to paint my Baby Yoda
I'm going to let.
helmet for me so I can.
I've got
He's
one of
got one
Brian
of them.
Johnson's paint jobs at 343 already, and I want one of Justin's paint jobs up there.
Right.
It needs to be up there.
He's
Like,
got
I didn't
quite a bit of
realize
his own
that's
stuff
been-
up there, doesn't he?
What's that?
Phil has a few things up there.
Most of what Justin has up there is his visors. Out of anything else,
Right.
it's mostly his visors. I don't think he's actually.
Recent discussion with him. He's like, dang, I didn't realize when I started this I was going to become that visor guy. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
no, he's done it.
You-
But I
you
mean,
do
he's
amazing
Yeah,
work.
well, he's just got a good, I mean, there's Justin, and I hope Justin watches this, but he could probably back up to a wall and pull a brick out with his bottom. You know, 'cause he's so anal retentive about stuff. So I think in some extent, I think he's a paint guy. I mean, that's what I'm saying. On top of anything, so he's a paint guy, and so I think he does really good work, and Brian Johnson does really good work. And I think it takes certain people, because I get to that phase where I like the process of building stuff. So probably more than I do anything else, like the figuring out and how to make it and how am I going to do this, and I'll get a project like, just anything, even if it's just the walls in here or making a bathroom out there or whatever, anything I can just sit there and just think about, and that's where I really enjoy it. And then when I get to paint, I'm like, close enough. And that's where, like, I'll have these beautiful pieces of work a lot of times, and I'll get a run or I'll get something and I'll mess it up right at the last just because I'm at that kind of close enough type of phase.
Yeah, you need to call her for the painting.
Like,
Because I let her do all
if you
my
tell me to
painting
think
stuff.
about something, I'm like,
Yeah,
I like that.
Cortex.
So this is a monster
Yeah.
helmet. This is never going to break unless he drops it because it's so damn heavy.
I was about to say, you want to test the theory today? It's not.
Could you imagine
Hey, if we need
slosh
to
casting
just tell
that?
us. We usually
No.
do
Yeah,
it
slosh
in-
cast that bad boy.
If we didn't move something,
So you're
tell
gonna
us.
have to
We
like
move
this
it.
big matrix mold is just a constant rotational sloshing this thing around, get it all coated.
So with this, the visor was clayed into this
I'm gonna move this
oil-based
out of the
clay
way
that
so
I
they
did.
can see you.
And
Monstrosity.
Justin has a special way that he does his visors in terms of putting the bucks to do multiple pulls off of what he does. So little back and forth with him on how he wanted the clay up done. So once that was done, it's all clear coated. Again, it's a clay block, and I hot glued it to my melamine board, and then I started a water clay layup on top of that. So even thickness of about ½ inch all the way around, side walls, top. Put my flanges in. There's some flanges here, and once that's done and I'm happy with that process and it's all smooth, then it gets another coat of clear to make it a little easier to pull out of the mold after the fact, and then start off with the fiberglass process. And the first thing that you do is a mix of Bondo and polyester resin, and it makes this kind of mud looking layer. Rondo, basically. That's right. That's what we know it as.
Yeah.
But anyways, so you do a brush up of that, and it self levels itself out for the most part. So it gives you a really good smooth layer.
It has no structural strength.
No, none at all.
It's a filler,
It's
not
a filler, so that's what makes this kind of smooth like this, right? See?
So there's no structural strength to it. But.
It's just to smooth things out.
So what he's talking about. So every time we make a helmet, like this is a casting of Justin's. This is a casting of Justin's combat evolved helmet, and so once we make the helmet and you get it all cleaned up, you actually need a shape to make your visor off. And this is not of that helmet, but this is a shape of a visor for a different helmet. And so you make that shape out of something hard, and then you can vacuum form to get the actual shape of the visor out of there.
So the reason we molded this buck here was because we're going to lay up multiples on the back table, and so instead of trying to
doing one at a time,
we'll just pour these up in resin, chop saw, clean them, back them up, and then that's all one big block that can go on the vac former to suck out multiples at the same time. So the Rondo and the mix is just to kind of smooth out your mold jacket for the interior. Next is a round of polyester resin mixed with Cabasil or fumed silica.
You had it.
And you put so much of that in there, and it gets about the consistency of like peanut butter. And it gets brushed in where you have areas that have hard 45s and things like that, things that can be air pockets in your final fiberglass. It kind of helps fill those spaces in.
Okay.
And then you do a brush of resin, and then you start your glass process of putting your fiberglass down. And because this thing sits
so many features with that helmet.
Heavy.
it's actually not that
No,
bad.
it's just solid.
Yeah, it is solid.
Still need to pat it.
when it flops down, I
Right.
think heavy.
So
Yep.
next, so after that cures, then we want to clean up this fiberglass edge so you can actually dremel and go all the way around your edge. And then once you get that off, you pop off the excess stuff that you don't want. Mark locations, and then go ahead and drill holes for your fiberglass, because you're gonna put this back. So once you get this is cleaned, this edge is sanded, you've got marks for aligning it back onto your board. Take it off.
Switch right here.
Then you pull your master out, right?
But then
You want to make sure that your master is good and clean, because basically you're pulling the water clay and then your clayed up part out.
and then
Okay, so then all the water clay comes off, your part goes back on your board. Okay, then the shell goes back on the board over that, and you're gonna
off and on.
screw that back into the same place where you've got your marks. So you're aligning this back over your masterpiece, so you're leaving that cavity in between there. So the shell's been drilled with these little bleeder holes all the way around. As you can see, there's still some silicone on the outside of that.
There's a little screen in there.
So basically, as you are slowly filling through your pour spout,
So there's that one.
you'll know where your
magnets.
You're helping
So I have to
air
finish
get
this
out.
up. There's
And
a
as
couple
that
little
happens,
things I
you're
haven't
just
done
taking
yet.
little 1-inch screws and putting in the holes to
Keep it
plug them
from
up.
rolling out.
Right. And that's basically it.
This is just for
Never dry. That's a never
Yeah.
dry one.
I know, I've used this stuff plenty of times. I don't have any with me. Yeah, last time that I rebuilt my pool filter and everything at work, this went all over the place. And I love it.
Never.
Missing a whole page, right?
Never dry.
Never dry. It's like Tony.
Tony, I think you just got called an alcoholic.
Now there's no White Claws here, so I can't drink.
God, you were
Here's
so
that,
from Florida.
Here's that Lincoln
Oh yeah.
Oh, I see how that is.
undersuit boot.
Yeah, just put the actual boot in
Now
there.
I
And
just
then,
gotta get my gloves, man. Damn it, Jim.
Do you want to know how we did those? Because it's really freaking funny, especially the gloves. We did the gloves same way.
Yeah, I can't figure this thing out.
We rotocasted on the inside with TAS 16. Bad choice, by the way. And then I stuck my hand in with what did I have? Oh yeah, just a surgical glove. So I did a surgical glove, taped around the end, put saran wrap, taped it around my arm, and then I put my hand in there, and then we filled it full of Flex Foamate. And
Oh my God,
it
that had to
bubbled
be
up,
hot.
and it was hot.
Jesus
Oh God,
Christ.
yes, it was
yeah,
hot.
that's one of those
Stayed my
things that
hand in.
people say, like,
Then did this hand, so I had both my hands in there, and both these big ass mittens on basically. And then we went ahead and to go demold it. We popped the outer shell off, and we started. Jake was on one hand, and he was pulling with his foot on my table, like this. I was pulling in the opposite direction with my foot on the other side, pulling, just going out. And I started moving my fingers around. I started getting things loosened up a little bit, and I'm like, okay, guys, and it's like started to slip, and I was like, whoa, stop. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, that tape job wasn't perfect. And sure enough, that Flex Foamate went right up underneath.
Damn.
All the hair from right here all the way to right here was completely gone off my hand. I just had to take my finger, and just go rip.
See,
all
now
the
I
hair
started
out.
to bring my Algasafe and my Hydrocal with me, thinking that if we had those glove molds, I would have figured out what position my hand needed to be in.
Use this as a little
We would have taken it out. We would have cast
Set it over and
my
then-
hands in Algasafe.
Yeah.
I'd have pulled my hands out. We would have mixed up some
blood
Hydrocal.
pressure.
and
I
put
guess
it in there.
my question is so you're going to try to slosh cast that thing with that resin.
I'm going to do a
that's
brush
gonna
up
have
first. I think what I'm going to do is just do a brush up in here. Let's just see if I can get a brush up layer in here that's not leaking too bad into my keys and everywhere else. And then from there, put the two halves together. Well, it's
I think I'd almost just go full bore and try, because I think if
put
you
it
get a
together.
brush cast, I think you're going to lose some distance. Like if you have a run or anything that comes over this, and that other I'm afraid you're going to not have as much area to get resin to go up in there.
Not only that, I think that if we just go straight for, like 3 light skinning casts and then pull it apart, like I said before, and see where you might have missed and where you need to focus or how well it's going to do.
Okay.
If you did a brush up, we wouldn't know that information.
Another thing too, why can't you pour like a little bit of resin in there? Like, so when I did that, you know how when I did
open.
So, well, no, pour resin in here with it sealed up, okay, and you'll have like 3 casts. So do a quick, like a real quick slosh around, get everything coated, spin it around real quick. We may have to alternate out because it's so damn heavy. And then when you're done, set it like this, so that one time all the leftover resin will come here.
Right.
Okay, and so you put this as the gravity point, then do another slosh coat.
Yes.
And then
Put
do
that
the
one as the
other
gravity coat,
Okay.
and then do the last slash coat with that one right there as
I
the.
got you.
That's a really good idea. I still feel this side right here is going to be the hardest area to get.
And so, but once we get those, but that's on the, you won't see the
You won't see
inside.
that
You won't
inside of
see
that.
it, but it still needs to
But
have.
foam will do that. Like
Yeah.
if you put, like if he
True.
does a
Put
last
foam
coat
in
of
it.
foam
Yes,
it,
that's true.
and then it'll, because we just need to smooth on the outside. If it's bubbly or something on the inside,
Yep.
that rigid foam it will do it. So I hate to tell y'all, I'm a lot smarter than all y'all, and I figured it out. So I'm just saying, we need to put that out there. Yeah, there you go. So just know that's how it plays out. So So just welcome to my world. That's how it exists.
Remember that when it doesn't work.
It's all your fault,
Well,
kid.
if it doesn't work, it's because they messed it up. That's all. I mean, that's how it works in the real world. I said, if I tell you how to do something, I came up with the idea if it works right. But if it doesn't work, then y'all just did it wrong. Y'all didn't follow my directions properly.
Right.
But joke the devil on that damn baby powder. You know, Johnson & Johnson's got cancer commercials out, Robert. You know, if I get cancer because your baby powder flicking.
He gets coronavirus because of the baby powder.
Yeah, if he dies because of coronavirus.
The lawyers are already at Johnson & Johnson, and here you go, just flicking it all on their faces.
Well, this is the talc free. This is now the new cornstarch formulation.
Well, let's shut it before you bang it on the ground again and put another big puff in the air. So, but yeah, so cornstarch. So 300 and 320 are drastically affected by cornstarch. 65D, minuscule.
No,
how much cornstarch you put in?
Yeah, I mean, if you put, but it's not less than like if you put a tablespoon of cornstarch in 300, it'd come up almost a.
I'll do half and half. I'll do half and half of
63-part resins. We like to treat the molds inside the molds with baby powder so that it kind of helps wick the resin in everywhere and helps it get all settled really good in the mold. Helps it pick up detail. You brush it almost all out, but it just kind of helps the mold cast better. And also I think it helps it paint better because it leaves like a little texture to the outside of it. It also, it does like some of the, like 300, I think it's 300 or 320, almost sometimes has a little oily texture to it, and so the paint doesn't want to stick. So when you do this, it kind of gives you a better paint surface. But if it has talcum powder, you can actually, not cornstarch, if it has cornstarch in it, or if you add cornstarch to those resins, they'll make them foam. Which if you're trying to build up, like on the inside, once you got your skin coat, it's good. But if it's your detail coat that you're doing, yeah, we need to, whenever that guy gets back in here, we need to do a
little intro.
I'll start it and do an intro again here in a minute. Get Tony a booster seat so he can be seen. I haven't seen Tony in a little while, so I've got it all added up. Like it's all like stored up. I gotta like get it all out. Like,
like a notepad.
He got his girlfriend, and so now we just don't ever see him. So I got like this whole list of like insults I gotta get out before he leaves again. And
was it intentional to put him at the little kids table?
Yeah.
I did it.
What?
I'm just watching.
I did it.
Observing.
What is that old glass?
It's got it all.
Where'd that come from? What store did you buy that at?
What?
Did it originally have a bunch of little balls on it?
I'm just making sure you do it right. I'm looking at your technique.
They're called dragon dildos is what they are.
Tony had to come over and see that. He's like, hey, whoa.
Seeing that big. What's going on?
What's going on over here? I'm hearing some smack talk going on. I gotta go check it out. What's going on?
I'm intimidated right now.
You want a smaller stir stick?
Toothpick.
I get some toothpicks in there. I get some toothpicks in there.
You gotta stick your pinky out when you do that.
Yeah. This is fancy. Pinky!
It's like,
We can't take you people anywhere.
Why would you want to?
Coronavirus!
All right. Well, at least this is being recorded for posterity.
yeah, it is. I might not have it splice it together, but
There you go.
the whole goal of this was to have that people feel like they're here.
See?
So that's what you want. You want that camera. I don't really want them to learn too much.
You know,
that stuff is boring
That
as
stuff
hell.
is boring when you start
I
that.
know, I'm like glazing over. I'm like,
I dang like cut my videos as much as I could possibly cut and still try to teach stuff, and they're still way too long.
I just wear a low cut
And
shirt.
so there's why
Teaching stuff.
it's like
You're like, I'm not here to teach. Yeah.
I'm getting some man boobs. Maybe I can. People pay me to put my clothes back on to take them off.
The reverse OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You're still getting paid.
Yeah, it does. Please don't Make me watch that.
I mean, it was an older mold, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the stuff had been, a lot of the corners had been washed out a little bit. So I sat there with my razor blade and cleaned up all the edges, and I was like looking at it going, I want to really modify the hell out of this thing. So, I mean, it's, I'll give you an idea. Some of the features aren't working anymore. I don't know what happened if the lights or the switches don't go for it, or went wrong.
It's good to know that at least it's not leaking out of the.
It's like they have access panels for the batteries.
Yeah.
That's a
And this is not, you're not using any of the foam right now.
Not right now, no.
And then
I figure I'll try to do that as the last
first thing is
step.
First you get that for the fan.
I don't mind having that this, there's this indentation, you know, where the
lights.
force valve
Fan's
is.
probably what I appreciate most about that.
What is what?
The fan. Fan's what I appreciate most.
And then
Was that just magnetized?
magnetized, yep. And then battery plugged in.
The thing looks heavy.
It's
Not bad.
Find where the
Actually
spots
pretty light.
are for
so
all that.
this switch right here.
Got a Batman.
Oh, you got the chin for it, man.
I know, he
Got
can still
chin
do
out there.
Batman.
Space Ghost.
Oh yeah, oh that would be a good one. Crimson Chin. I love
Crimson Chin, yeah.
That
Yeah.
would be great.
I want him to cosplay the Tick.
Oh.
The Tick, yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind making a big Tick costume. Anybody got anything they want to plug on this? So,
Come on, y'all need business.
I can do it. So, working on the Hayabusa helmet here from Halo 3 for my prop group. This is the first castings coming out of this mold. This is the crown for this particular mold. I spent a long weekend in Atlanta with the good folks over at Blue Whale Studios, and they are actually waiting on this finished piece to post our build process video with Matt and Anthony Canonica over there. Great guys, a lot of help, learned a lot. So this is a matrix mold, very complex, break apart. This thing's a beast. It's really heavy. It's got a lot of silicone in this one. And I think moving forward, I've got some ideas about how to reduce some of that, but it is what it is. It's a heavy piece, but there's a lot of detail to it. So I look forward to being able to put this up in the old Etsy shop soon. I've got a lot of people who've been following me on Instagram, waiting for this particular one as well. So again, on Instagram, you can follow me at Let's Props.
so Phil just moved out to our area from Seattle. So he came down to the south, so we're really excited. And so I'm hoping to get more video with Phil's stuff in the near future, maybe. I hadn't asked him that yet, but we'll just put him on a spot right on the camera.
We just popped the question.
So just will you film with me, Phil?
He wants to be popular.
Yeah, so I need help. So I have a very loyal 621 subscribers, but I could probably stand to grow it a little bit more. But I haven't been posting, and so hopefully this is a goal to get back to that. And Phil does some amazing work, as well as Robert does too. And so it would be great. You've already seen, a lot of Lizzie Mae and Marty. And Martell is also new to a group. We got Tony in the background. He never actually finishes anything, but it's amazing what he does.
That is true.
Up to that point.
What he leaves
it's
unfinished.
It
His
is the
work
most
is so cool.
amazing
I
unfinished
wish you
work
could
you
see
would
it.
ever
What
see.
people don't know is that Tony's actually one of the original founding members of Stony.
Yeah, he's the Tony and Stony.
He's also
Tony.
he's also Blackula on
Blackula 727 on pretty much every forum.
yeah.
So yeah.
Been around for a long
We're
time.
actually going to start having workout day again, but we're not actually going to lift any weights. We're just going to cast helmets.
We're gonna
We're
use
just
my
going to
molds.
cast his molds, and we'll be jacked. And they'll have one behind Sam.
Yeah.
So you got to rotary cast that. Fill out.
Gosh, I've got the Halo 5 bicep mold.
So
Is literally solid.
yeah, you'll do that for like 30 minutes straight.
over.
Yeah. It'll be a handoff mold. It'll definitely be one that we'll have to like, okay, your turn.
Big
And then-
that thing weighs a flipping ton.
You get like 10 people and they do a minute each. And just
yeah, just keep going.
You
You'll
get a
be
minute.
like,
Yeah, that's what you're gonna work up to is a minute.
yeah. It's a mold casting challenge. It's gonna be the latest thing. So
Yeah,
like
it
the
could be
plank
a new-
challenge,
yeah.
So it can be the new TikTok. How long can you rotate the mold?
I don't see those on TikTok a lot.
No, you don't do that. It looks like it got up. I mean, in all honesty, that's probably working in your benefit. It means you got it all the way to the bottom.
Yeah. We'll know in a minute, won't we?
Well, I definitely saw this one.
You're still recording?
Yeah, that's recording.
Hopefully it'll be
It records.
It's
by the end of this next.
I don't know how well they can see down in there, but
No.
Alright.
Yeah, because you're directly to the side of it. I know it's 360 degrees.
If I brought it up higher, but when you bring it up higher, it gives us all that alien head thing. If I bring it up too high, yeah, it's almost better. Like,
how many did you do? 2 or 3?
Probably 3.
You probably need to keep the camera at head height, because the closer you can get to looking straight on, the better it finishes.
Yeah. Bring it up.
You don't want that Busta Rhymes look in his video?
Oh, yeah.
Raise some funds for it to pay for insurance, and then farmers meeting.
That shut everybody up.
There we go. That looks pretty smooth on that side.
Wow.
Nice.
That's pretty
It's
sweet.
warm?
Yeah, when that resin cures, it gets hot.
All right, now we'll see. This is the
Even
place
this
that we
still
want.
has heat to it. Just a smidgen down there. It's still hot when they were
See,
toasted.
this would be good. This is probably too expensive for what I want to use.
Oh, snap.
Nice.
That looks
Looks
pretty.
solid.
What type of helmet is that?
Hayabusa.
Hey.
Wow.
Oh, yeah,
You might want to leave it in the mold next time a little bit longer
It's a
so it
little,
cools down.
yeah.
It's pretty light. It's light.
Devin's gonna warp it. Still trying to get
Hulk smash.
But there's zero stretch on that rubber in this method, you know. So
Yeah.
that's the one big
So
positive.
these little flashings will just break off.
I was in a Zoom meeting yesterday with
Nice.
the Georgia Farmers Market Association.
It is nice.
Level of detail on that's incredible.
And it's
Yeah, I mean, like, even with having to get all a little flashing off there, but to get something that complex out, I don't want to try to.
Still got almost no cleanup work on it, the way it looks.
Yeah, so the way you build, you build the entire metal on the fixture first.
Yeah.
But just to,
And then you slap on all these
Now you give
body panels.
40 more of those to go.
yeah.
I got about 25 people want this like tomorrow. Matter of fact, I had a guy who's like weekly checks with me on Instagram every week about this. Hit me up this morning. Hey, did you see this Halo 3 version? They're doing red visors now. Like since Halo 3 came out, this is all the, because this is officially canon at this point. So
Well, the downside is you got the
I like your feeling.
smaller
Yes, sir.
mold done.
right now we're gonna tackle the big monster.
Yeah.
You have to do some neck exercises once you get it all put together.
So
It almost looks like one of the Elite's helmets.
I'm just going to get one of these without the helmet
by
just to wear
itself.
around for hair.
You know what?
You know, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah.
I said, you know, I can't, so just take the knob, cut the little knob off in there.
Body unit.
Need to saw that knob off, and man, I'd be set. That probably fit my head about the size of that helmet.
There was no freaking
Yeah, there was no
models and
references
shit
like
back
that.
then. Yeah,
Yeah, this whole Sparrow
yeah.
that I built was figuring that the guy that was on it was, I printed out a picture like a screen capture right from the side,
Yeah.
and I figured the guy was 6 foot tall, and
So
I
I think I
took
hit
his
about
distance from the
fiberglass.
knee to the
Inch.
ankle, which
Yeah.
is typically like 2 foot long, and I gridded the whole
Scales
thing
around,
off
yeah.
that.
Pics, girl.
And so I mean that's all you can do. And the problem
She's
is
really
the
good at
older
that
guys.
stuff.
Thanks for watching. I know it's a long video, and I apologize, but it was really kind of hard to cut down 360 video. I was just I wanted to give the kind of how nice it is to do this stuff as a group. I don't know, you know, a lot of y'all have had a chance to do cosplay. I guess if you're watching my channel, you are kind of interested in it. And so I don't know if you really had that chance, but it just makes a big difference to hang out with some friends. So I strongly encourage you, you can come join us with other videos we do, and hopefully that you'll find some friends of your own that you can hang out and do build days and kind of do those things too. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good day.